Good evening, y'all. Came home yesterday for a little home time, and we're leaving out of here tonight, going back to DC. And I am calling all patriots, especially those that live around me. My brother, guys I hunt with. I hear all y'all talking about how you're real-blooded American country boys. I'm going to put your words to a test. Now, we are currently doing a peaceful protest in D.C. We are called the 1776 Restoration Movement. If you do go, leave all arms at home. You will be arrested in D.C. if you are caught carrying. There are trolls that are watching our videos, taking every little thing we say, calling the FBI, along with other agencies such as police. Here's a message for the trolls. You call the FBI on me for something stupid, you better be able to prove it, because falsely accusing somebody of a crime is a crime itself, and I will file those charges. Just to let you know. We are nonviolent, peaceful protest. We are nonpartisan. All are welcome. Liberals, Presbyterians, Democrats, Republicans, conservatives. We don't care. This is not a left or a right issue. This is an American issue. Our leaders, our so-called leaders, are looking to destroy our Constitution. They are looking to sell us out. We are trying to return our country to a constitutional republic, what our forefathers meant it to be. The government has gotten too big. The Constitution was designed for the states to govern themselves. The federal government is supposed to protect us from outsiders. That's not how it works now. Take, for instance, a couple of years ago, Montana said they didn't want any speed limits. The federal government said, you're going to have speed limits. Montana said, no, we're not. The federal government said, you're not getting any money to fix your roads. Montana says, okay, we got speed limits. That is called blackmail. Okay? The federal government is violating the U.S. Constitution because states have the right to govern themselves simply because they don't like the laws a state makes. Our peaceful protest, we were told if we got more than 25 people in our group that are protesting, that we had to have a permit to protest. We filed for that permit because there's more than 25 of us. And they turned down our application, says we can't have the permit. They pretty much said, F you, you're not allowed to exercise your First Amendment rights. That's a constitutional violation. They keep putting more and more gun control laws on your Second Amendment, rights. Over the last 20 years, it has become harder and harder for responsible gun owners to buy a rifle, but yet there are more and more school shootings. You would think that if their gun control laws worked, there'd be less school shootings. Nope. Because this is something that their brains cannot comprehend. Responsible gun owners go to gun stores to buy guns. They are registered. Criminals go to a box truck in an alley to buy their guns. They're unregistered. Nobody knows they have them. Until you do away with illegal gun sales on the street and the black market, your gun control laws do absolutely dick. They are using this as an excuse to violate your rights. And they're doing this with every constitutional right you have. Joe Biden went on national TV and stated in his own words, the Constitution is dated and should no longer apply. It was treason just for him to suggest that. No one's doing anything. These are just some examples, okay? Now is the time to stand up. You call yourself an American. You call yourself a patriot. If you are able-bodied, stand up. Meet us in the National Mall in D.C. I understand that there are some people with medical conditions that can't go. That is not their fault. But those who are able to go and don't want to because you're too worried about losing your job, losing your house, your money, your car, remember this. Those are materialistic things. They are replaceable. Your freedoms are not. So when this thing ends, if we lose and you didn't stand up, when your children and grandchildren ask why they no longer have any rights, will you be able to look them in the eye and tell them they don't have any rights because you're too big of a coward to stand up for them? If we do win, and years down the road, when your grandchildren are learning about this in the history books, and they ask you if you were there when you know you weren't, are you going to lie and tell them you were? Or are you going to tell them the truth? Tell them you're too big of a coward to stand up. You were waiting for somebody else to fight for you. I'm calling all able-bodied men from my hometown. Join us before your rights are gone. I'm leaving at 8 o'clock tonight to go back to D.C. Those who wish to join us, meet me up here at the Mini Mart and follow us in. Now I'm going to answer a few of these statements on here. Let's see. There's one that says that I wasn't at the Capitol yesterday. I know I wasn't. I had to come home and take care of some business. I was one of the many that marched to the Capitol the day before yesterday when we ran Joe Biden out of the White House. We stood outside those fences yelling at him through bullhorns. About 10 minutes later, we watched his motorcade leave. We ran Joe Biden out of his own home. There are power in numbers. Our future generations depend on us. You want to keep this a free America? Then act like a free man. This is also a call to our military. This is a call to our law enforcement to stand with us. I understand that our military took an oath to obey, follow, and obey their commander-in-chief. They also took an oath to defend this country, its people, and its flag from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. You got two oaths that you've taken. One turns against the other. Your commander-in-chief is the one that's trying to destroy this country. He himself stated, out of his own mouth on national TV, the easiest way to cripple a country is to shut down his oil pipelines. Why'd he shut down ours? Then 2 weeks ago, he shuts down the Alaskan oil fields. Out of his own mouth, he's trying to cripple this country. That is treason. So here's the question I have for our law enforcement and our military. Are you going to uphold the oath to one man that makes you a traitor? Or are you going to uphold the oath you took to an entire country that makes you a patriot? That choice I'll leave to you. That choice I'll leave to you. I hope many of y'all do join us in D.C. because I will tell you this right now. After all of this is over, I will remember every face that was there. If I come across you in the street and I don't recall your face, I will never know you by your name. I will only know you as a coward. Now I'm going to see how many of you can actually prove me wrong. Meet us in D.C. We'll see what kind of person you are. Y'all have a good night.